Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Joe Cucchiara, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. Just a reminder for those just tuning in, a couple different ways you can listen to us. One is on the radio at KDOW 1220 AM. You can also listen to us live online if you go to kdow.biz and click the button there that says Listen Live. If you are happening to tune in between 3 and 4 Pacific Daylight Time, you can listen to us live anywhere online at kdow.biz. However, we'd love to have you go online, download the app. That way you could have access to the podcast and make more announcements about that. Just 2 more live shows today and tomorrow. No more live shows for Real Estate Radio Live. We're going full-time daily podcast shows, and we'll certainly miss our live audience. But at the same time, we are expanding the reach with the podcast, and allows us to reach more people, more times at their convenience, and that's what we'll be doing full-time. So if you want to continue to listen to the show, the content, the guests, all the information, all you need to do is go to RE Radio Live and download the app there, or you could go to iTunes, Stitcher, all those normal places that you get the app at RE Radio Live, and allow you to download and listen to the podcast. And again, the opportunity, the advantage is that you could listen to them anytime, anywhere at your convenience. We're a live show for the next couple of days. A couple different ways you can communicate with us while we're on the air, 1-800-516-1220. Going forward, if you need to reach us, the best way to do that is area code 408-838-9060. That will be the number via podcast as well. We're a live show for today and tomorrow will be the last live show. Today we're going to be talking about a market update, and also kind of just a review of what's, as we wrap up 2016 and then going into 2017, what to expect and what's coming kind of for the real estate market and financing market. I know that a lot of people are kind of holding their breath, stepping back, trying to figure out, scratching their head, what's going to happen with the election, what's that mean? You're probably getting hundreds, if not thousands, of different opinions from news medias and different outlets. But the bottom line is the consensus is that if Hillary Clinton wins the office, then we'll probably see much of the norm. And what that means is we probably won't see any real big swings in the marketplace or rates or adjustments. Who knows? There's a lot of uncertainty here in the next couple of weeks. If they were to elect Trump as the next president, then we might see some volatility in the market. We might see some things that are just because of the uncertainty, the unknown. Again, those are just the speculation. Those are the comments. Those are the feedback, the information that most of us kind of in the marketplace are hearing and want to convey. But I'll always say that the bottom line is not to get too political. Take care of your own business. Work hard. Do what you do best, and focus on what you do best, and do the best you can at it. And there's some things we just have no control over. You could vote, and everybody should go out and vote. Absolutely. It's your right. It's a privilege. You should go vote. But the bottom line is, if you have a strategy with your business or your life, and in and around real estate, or if it is or isn't, don't let that deter you, no matter who's in presidents, who is holding office. Honestly, my philosophy is, who the hell cares? You might care, and there may be a difference in some things, but If you go out and take control of your own life, your own investments, your own strategies, yeah, there's going to be some differences. But you can't sit around and wish and hope, I don't think, that someone else is going to change your life for you or make your life better. I just don't believe in it. I don't. I know I'll get arguments, disagreements, philosophies. I get it, and that's fine. I love those. I love the conversations about the differences of opinions and philosophies. That's what makes the world wonderful. But I've always had the belief that take control of your own life and your own business and make adjustments where you need to. If health care is going to be more expensive, then, other than voting and doing the best you can, what are you going to do about it? If you need to pay, if you're going to have to pay more for health care, then we're going to have to pay more for health care until these guys get their act together and try to figure out how we could have some more reasonable health care. That's a nightmare. That program is just a nightmare. So that's just one example. And as we roll into the show today, again, I wish everybody the best in terms of voting. Get out there and vote. That's what you have control over. That is your right. It's a privilege to be. Everyone should do that if they can, and it's a great honor to be an American citizen, and we should take advantage of that and also understand that we have the ability to reap the benefits of that. We have a free country that allows us to practice any business we want. We can invest in different things. We could start our own business. We could work for someone else. There's all kinds of things to do. Can you imagine if you lived in a country where you couldn't do what you wanted to do, or maybe you had to conform to someone differently? And so we are fortunate that that's not the case. It's an imperfect world, and it's an imperfect system. It will always be that way, no matter who's in office. I know some might say, oh, no, if Canada Day was in office, it'd be a perfect world. BS. Come on. Are you kidding me? It's the bottom line is that everything is imperfect. We have to do the best we can individually to maintain our life and do the best we can. I just don't buy off on the theory if you wish and you work so hard to say, oh my God, if so-and-so was just in office, my life would be better. I don't believe it for a minute. I don't believe it for a minute. You make the choices of your life. You make the decisions on what you do, how you invest, how and if you buy real estate, the decisions you make, the businesses you start, the investments you make. That's you. And maybe a select few around you that are people who you work with, people you trust, a team of people. And that's what you should be doing. And so the message is, as you know, today and tomorrow, as we finish up the last two live shows, the message is that I'd love to get across is that for the last 6 years, I have been on the air talking about real estate and all different facets of real estate. We've had an incredible amount of guests. I've done over 1,200 interviews and had some wonderful, wonderful people. And I've got hundreds of emails, phone calls, and interactions and correspondence over the last several years of some great comments about the things people have learned, the information that they've gained, some knowledge they've taken and applied it and put it into real practice. Those kinds of things are exciting to me when we all could learn and educate ourselves and then go put it into practice and exercise something and see some fruition there. It's exciting to me. And I hope that over the last 6 years, that's what we've done for a lot of you out there, your listeners. I would encourage you again to download the app, the podcast. That way you can continue to listen to the show. We are not going away. We're going to continue to provide you this information on a daily basis via podcast. Go to reradiolive.com or go to iTunes, Stitcher, download the app. That way you can get the podcasts and follow us anywhere. Listen to us anytime that you wish at your convenience. So what we're going to do is today and tomorrow, specifically today, we're going to focus on kind of a review of 2016, 2017. Are you prepared? The question is, are you prepared with your real estate holdings, your market? What are you doing with your real estate and your mortgage as we wrap up 2016 and roll into 2017? Are your strategies in place? If you have one property or 10 properties, do you have the right mortgages on them? How long are you going to hold these mortgages? How long are you going to hold these properties? If they're going to be short-term, maybe you should look at doing some different financing. Do you need to pull some equity out of some of these properties? There's a lot of that going on lately. A lot of people are deciding to take advantage of, the gained value over the last 4 or 5 years. Seen a lot of people reinvest back into their property. I want to take some money out. I want to do that remodel I've always wanted to do. If I'm going to live in the house, I want to have a beautiful kitchen. I want to do the add-on. I want to do the expansion. I want to add those different things. I've seen a lot of that right now. The other thing I'm seeing a lot of is people consolidating a first and second. So if you have an equity line second, I'm a big proponent and fan of making sure that you combine those two. Unless you have intentions to pay that second off anytime soon, then I would encourage you to look at combining the first and second into one loan. And that way what you could do is you could avoid any uptick in interest rates. And when they start raising the prime, that'll have a direct effect on your home equity line. The home equity lines, unless they're fixed products, the adjustable products are tied to the prime lending rate. And the prime lending rate, as most of you know, has been really, really low lately for the last several years. I would guess that sometime next year they'll start ratcheting it up a little bit. And when they start doing that, that will affect your home equity lines. That will affect your credit cards. That will affect some different consumer loans that you may have. And so those are things you got to really watch out for and figure out if you're in good position to be in place to take care of those things for sure. So what we're going to do today, open lines. There's no guests. I'm going to have some good information for you. I'm going to share as we roll into 2017. Are you secure and safe in your investments? Do you need to make any adjustments? If you have any questions about me, the show, about the topic, anything at all, welcome your calls, 1-800-516-1220, or you could text any questions you have, 408-838-9060. This is Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue. Again, if you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220. Or text them, 408-838-9060. We'll be back to continue in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit reradiolive.com. That's reradiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit reradiolive.com. That's reradiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live as we wind down the live shows. Today and tomorrow will be the last live shows. If you have any questions, comments, check in, give us a call, 1-800-516-1220. You continue to listen to the show, the content, the guests, and all the good information. Our focus will not change. The objective has always been the same, that is to educate you, the consumer, make you a wise consumer in and around your real estate by having great guests, sharing good content and information for you, the consumer. You can continue to follow us via podcast. If you go to reradiolive.com, download the app. That way you can get the podcast, or you go to iTunes, Stitcher, anything you want. Again, search out reradiolive.com. And you'll be able to do that. And we are going to continue the show today talking a little bit about, as we wrap up 2016 and roll into 2017, are you really prepared for 2017 with your mortgage and real estate? I've talked before in the last month or so. I've really got the word out. I tried as much as possible through a lot of different means. The radio is one of them. It's a great buyer's opportunity right now in buyer's market. So I want to talk about that for a couple minutes too. The last several years, as most of you may or may not know, if you were in the real estate market or the business, you know that it's been primarily a seller's market. And what that means is that with low inventory and high demand, what happens is in an environment like this where you have good business, strong business environment, you have people that make pretty good wages and income. And so anytime homes have gone on the market, they've moved really quickly. There's been multiple offers on them the last several years, and it's been a strong seller's market. What that means is it's been a really good time if you're in the market to sell your home. Really good time the last several years. Good chance you get a premium for it. The downside is that when you sell your home, you have to, not have to, most of the time people are going to buy another home. And so if you're staying in the Bay Area, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword because you might get a premium for selling your home, but guess what? You're going to get hit, and you might pay a premium when you go to buy a home because of this very same reason. So I guess it evens out in the long run, but if you intend to stay in the Bay Area in this location, then you realize what the market has done. You realize the stability in this marketplace because of the strong job market there is in the Silicon Valley. So it's been a great time to sell your home. And so I would say right now, and I've been saying this for about a month or so now, and I'll continue to say it until I change my opinion on it, and that is it's a great time to be out looking to buy. And the reason why is the market has cooled a little bit, and we're seeing a flattening in the sales prices. So we're not going skyrocketed north every month like we were several years ago. I mean, a couple of years ago, even a year or so ago, you'd see homes, 5, 6, 7% sometimes monthly. Crazy in a month. A home would go for sale in a neighborhood for $1 million, and the very next month, but a home similar would sell for, 110 or 120,000. I'm sorry, 1 million, a little over 20 or 30,000 over $1 million. In other words, it was, or 1.1 million. Just 30 days later, it'd sell for 10% more, 7% more, 1,070,000. Crazy. Well, those things have subsided a little bit. So what you're getting is a stabilization of the market, and we're seeing homes still moving, but not the craziness that was taking place in the marketplace where there was multiple offers and, the bidding war going on. So because of that, I encourage you, those that were discouraged before, if you're out buying or thinking about buying, now would be a great time to work with your real estate agent. Make sure you're pre-approved. Get out there and look for a home or look for a property, and you're going to be a little more in the driver's seat this time around as a buyer. You really are. Trust me on this. Again, if you want to call me offline, if you have questions, if you need to get approved, that's what I do. I do financing. Most of you know that. Give me a call, 408-838-9060 if you need to get approved. Let's say you need to, even if you need some advice, even if you want to set up a consultation, you want to come in, you want to set up a phone call, talk about what you could afford, different areas. Maybe you need a realtor, maybe you need a financial planner, maybe you need some CPA tax advice. I can help you with all that stuff. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you make those decisions in and around real estate. That's what we're here for. So, use the resources. I tell people all the time, use the resources that are available to you. In this case, we are a one-stop shop for real estate. We'll continue to do that. So use the resources here. If you need some help, some advice, maybe some suggestions, some opinions, that's what we're here for. All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue. If you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220 if you'd like to call. If you'd like to text, looks like we have a couple texts coming in, 408-838-9060. This is Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. We'll be back with you to continue in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDLW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live, and we are having a discussion today about real estate. Are you in good position? Are you prepared as we roll into 2017? How are your mortgages? How's the real estate? What do you think? Should you make some moves now? I think you should. If you're thinking about real estate, I'm telling you, make it now. Make it in the next 3 to 6 months. It's not that you won't be able to afterwards. Don't take it that way, please. But interest rates will start going up. Do we know when? We could guess, first, second quarter, sometime next year, they'll start creeping up a little bit. The 30-year fixed money, again, this is just, conforming. I want to make sure you understand, depends on your credit scores and the loan amount. But if you're $417,000 or less with good credit, depending on what your down payment, your loan to value, et cetera, good market rates are around 3 and 5/8, 3.625 at 0 points. Now, one of the confusing things, and I'll talk a little bit about this too, because it drives me crazy in this business. Understand that when you see things online and you hear things on the radio, and you're thinking, well, Joe, you're on the radio. Yeah, I am on the radio. But what you're not going to hear is any BS. And what I mean by that is you're not going to hear phony, false claims. Call in the next 30 seconds. We're going to get you this, and this. You will never hear that on the radio or my podcast. The reason why is because this show is designed to be education and information, and really, in my mind, relationship driven, where I want my listeners and my clients to trust and understand and rely on what I say. When you're trying to sell something, unfortunately, it's usually lined with BS or misleading information. It just is. And the reason why it has to, and you have to understand this, don't get upset about it, just understand it. The reason why it has to is when you're on a sales job, when most people on the radio and internet and, all these other call 1-800, we could go around the names that we all know are very familiar. They're the funny names. Call for cash, call right now, call in the next 10 minutes. There's a catch. There has to be a catch. The way the marketing works with this, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, a lot of you do know, but again, for the sake of education, they spend their marketing dollars on misleading you to give them a call or email them or contact them so you get in a trap. So if you could picture this big old giant trap, right, laid out in the middle, and once you enter into it, then you get stuck in it. Doesn't mean you can't get out of it, but be careful when you listen to the nonsense on the radio about call and pay no fees and no costs and this and that. There is no such thing as free anything. When someone's offering and when someone says there's a no-cost loan, when someone says this is exciting, we're going to offer a no-point, no-fee loan, they do exist. But you know how they exist? They exist because they increase the interest rate. That's how they exist. There's nothing free. There is nothing free. Most of this stuff is misleading. It's nonsense. And the reason I bring that up is I don't want you to get burned. Rely on the people you trust. you could always call us. You could call your trusted advisors. You probably have people like that. If you don't, you could always trust us. And we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to let you know what's going on in the marketplace. If someone could do something, if they can't do something, if we could do something, we'll continue to do that. But it's important that I get this information out because you hear it all the time, and it's just a marketing strategy. That's all it is. It's a different business model. You have people that are spending millions of dollars on marketing, which I call, and they're really traps. They just hope if they throw enough traps out there, they're going to catch enough people, and they're going to reel them in, and then they're going to be able to get a return on their investment. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad business model. It works for them. I don't like it because I'd rather sit down and look at someone in the eye and be honest with them and talk to them about what we could do for them and see what the best options are rather than try to automatically just swoop them up and try to figure out if we could play a numbers game instead of a relational game. And that's what I want to do. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, there's a text and a question. I'm going to answer that when we get back on the air. It's about a 1031 and exchange property. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. If you have any questions, 1-800-516-1220 or text 408-838-9060.
On today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. We are winding our way down from our live shows. Certainly disappointing and not to be on the air live with you, but we'll continue to be in touch with you. And I'm getting several texts, and I have the last couple of weeks, and thank you for all the texts and support. People that are continue to listen to the show via podcast, and KDOW is a wonderful station, wonderful outlet, wonderful business information. It's an excellent, excellent group of people that work hard to deliver great products to the airwaves. And so continue to support, and it's been a wonderful ride, the 6 years of the live show, and our live show will be tomorrow. But again, continue to follow the show by downloading the podcast, the app. If you go to RERadiolive.com, you could download the app and get the podcast and still continue to listen to the show. All right, today we're talking about the market as we roll into 2017 and some of the things we're prepared for. And we have a couple of texts, so let me get to them. One of the texts, let's see here, starts by saying they love the show. We'll definitely follow on podcast. Thank you so much. That's kind for you to say. The question, if we sell a rental now that was purchased 2 years ago with 1031 proceeds and we don't have any capital gain from the sale, do we need to pay any tax on this sale? Well, great question. And so I did we're going back a little bit back and forth to the text, so I just want to make sure. One of the things I'll say right away, and you'll always hear me say, please, 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 I mean, I love these questions, but I am not a CPA. I am not a tax expert. I certainly know a lot about this. I have rental properties of my own. I help people with rental properties on a regular basis. But so if the question is, you've had it 2 years, it sounds like it's a rental property now, you purchased it 2 years ago, 1031. If you sell it and you don't exercise, if you don't continue to 1031, I think you're going to have some capital gains. I think you're going to have some tax implications on that. But again, what I would suggest you do is contact your CPA and ask he or she what is the best course of action. If this is the case, what you could do. If you want to pull cash out, all those things you could do. You could do all the things that you're asking, but the question is, what kind of tax implications will there be? So I have some excellent CPAs. I have 2 or 3 just off the charts wonderful CPAs. If anyone needs any suggestion or help, especially around real estate, I have a couple of the people that are top notch that are just incredible, that would be happy to help you. So text me, call me, email me if you want some referrals for CPAs. But to answer your question, I don't want to give you any specific answer to that tax-wise, because I would never do that. That would be irresponsible. What I will tell you is that you could sell it. You can take cash out. There's a lot of things you could do, but I do not know, and I would not be able to tell you what the tax implications would be. I just wouldn't. It would be responsible because that's my area of expertise. But I'll say thank you for reaching out. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for asking this very important question, because it is an important question, and it's something you need to get to ask. So as we move along to the next question, what I'll say is, again, for this specific listener, if you want some CPA advice, if you don't have anybody you trust, or maybe you don't work with anybody, let me know. I'm happy to refer someone that could give you some help and some advice on that. All right, let's bounce back into our topic of conversation. We're talking a little bit about the market as we roll out of, as we finish up 2016, 2017, what's it going to hold? My suggestion is that if you are thinking about or pondering whether you should make real estate transactions, I would strongly suggest that you consider them, over the next 4 to 6 months or so. And the reason I would say that, again, it doesn't mean that if you don't do it in the next 4 to 6 months, it's going to be detrimental and you shouldn't do it. The only reason I bring that up is because I'm pretty darn sure interest rates are going to go up next year. And we were starting to talk last segment that, interest rates, conforming 30-year money right around, just a little tad above 3.5% or so, right around there. Super, super cheap. Great, great, great money. Super money. Why would you spend your cash when you can get money that cheap? Seriously. Some of these people, honestly, I know it's a philosophy, and this is not against that. Why would you pay cash or want to have your mortgage paid off if you're at an age when you're still making good income? For the life of me, I don't understand that. When you could borrow someone else's money at 3.5%, for example, 3.5%. So it's at 3.5%, and you're getting a tax deduction for it if it's your primary residence. Why would you want to pay that off and take the risk and use your cash elsewhere? Seriously, I just met with my financial planner yesterday. We're having this conversation. It's a good one to have with people who know. If you're still earning pretty good income, you want a mortgage. I'm not saying it's for everybody, and I'm not saying it's a right or wrong conversation. But seriously, instead of emotionally making decisions, sit down and put the pencil to the paper. Figure out what it means. If you're making $200,000 a year and you want to say, I want my mortgage paid off, and all of a sudden you're going to lose a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year tax deduction, why? Why would you do that? Someone might say, well, Joe, because I don't want a mortgage. And okay, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying instead of making emotional decisions based on what someone else thinks or your parents think or, whatever, put the pencil to the paper, let the numbers do the talking, and then make some decisions. Because in theory, what you want to do, I think, is reduce your mortgage as you get older. As you get close to retirement, then yes, absolutely, you want to try to eliminate it. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to continue the conversation. Any questions, 1-800-516-1220. Or you could text. I have a couple extra texts here just coming in, 408-838-9060. I'll be back with you to continue in just a couple minutes.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live, streaming live on iHeart, TuneIn, and KDOW.biz. For more information on today's topic or guest, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Cucchiara.
Welcome back in. Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. Winding the show down. Just one more segment left. Boy, it's flying by. And just a reminder for those two, the last live show for Real Estate Radio Live will be tomorrow. Be sure to tune in and continue to listen. We are not going away. We're going to be still continuing to share the information, education for you, the consumer, to help you in and around your real estate. We're going to do that via podcast 5 days a week. Make sure you tune in to download that app so you can get the podcast. That's at reradiolive.com, or you could obviously go to iTunes, Stitcher, all the normal places. To get the information, we'll continue to do that, provide that to you, no change at all. We're going to continue to give that information to you. We're excited about it, and continue to follow us by doing that. All right, we're going to we just have a couple minutes left. So just wrapping up, I'll kind of summarize that real quick. The show we had today was making sure you're kind of set with your real estate and your mortgages as you enter into 2017. I know we got the big election coming in tonight. Best of luck to everyone with that. But as I started the show, I'll say for, again, kind of summarizing, we're in a free country. We're in a country that's great. We could vote. We have privileges. We have rights. We have all kinds of wonderful things that we have available to us. But go out and create your own life. That would be my message today. Continue to do that tomorrow. Create your own life, your own business, your own experience. Create your own. It doesn't mean you don't need help. It doesn't. We all need support. We all need help. We want people that care about us. We want governments that care. We want good systems. I get all that. I really do. I'm not saying we don't. But my message to you would be get out and create your own life. Create your life in business. Create your life in investments. Create your life within relationships. Create your life with what you do. Don't look to the government. Don't look to other people. Don't look to someone else. If you rely or you sit around or you wait around for someone else to change your life, you could be most likely disappointed. It doesn't usually work out that way. So the message today is, obviously we're a real estate show, but get out and create your life. Make things happen. Don't be afraid to fail. No one ever gets anywhere without taking chances. And when you take chances, sometimes it doesn't work, but that's okay. Guess what? Get up, dust yourself off, keep moving. That is the message for sure as we continue to do that. So, all right, be sure to tune in tomorrow and continue to listen to the last show. Be sure to tune in again. If you have any more questions, go to the website, reradiolive.com. That is reradiolive.com. If you want to reach me for any reason at all, 408-838-9060. This is Joe Cucchiara with Real Estate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Be sure to tune in tomorrow again, same place, and we'll be with you for the last show of Real Estate Radio Live on this station. Have a great afternoon. We'll be back with you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit reradiolive.com. That's reradiolive.com. Tune in, log in, download our podcast. Discover more at reradiolive.com. reradiolive.com.